If I had a time machine and I could go back to before I started my health and wellness journey, before I lost over 100 pounds, and tell myself anything, what advice would I give myself knowing what I know now? Hey there, I'm Dee. Thanks so much for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel. I'm really excited every week to share health and wellness, mindset, and success tricks that I've learned with you. And so if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe. And if you get anything from this video, make sure you give it a like so other people can find it. The first thing I would tell past me is you're allowed to want this. For so long, I have grappled with, and still sometimes I grapple with, shame around the idea of wanting to lose weight. Because there's a lot of people out there who reject diet culture. They don't want anything to do with losing weight. And I reject diet culture in so many ways as well. And I get the spirit of it. I totally do. But I also want to make space for people who that is one of their goals. For me, I'm not looking to be really, really thin or anything. I have a certain sassy weight that I know I feel my best. That's where I want to be. And I would just go back and give myself freedom on that and create space for the fact that that is an okay thing to want. That's an okay thing to have as your goal is to lose weight. And I wasted so much energy in a place of shame and kind of fighting within myself that if I had taken all that energy and just committed to it and said, this is something I want for myself and I'm going to go for it, I think I would have done it twice as fast. The second piece, which is kind of in the same vein actually, is then I would think more deeply than weight loss. Think about what's the real goal behind that sassy weight. So there's a certain size or feeling or weight that I am, and when I know I'm feeling my best, what's really behind that? Well, typically it's not actually what the number on the scale is, come to find out. It's actually like how I'm living my life, how I'm pursuing joy every day, how I feel in my clothes, how I'm dressing. What is the real reason? Here's the question that I love to ask to get to that is like, how will I know when I did it? One reason why I think that's so important too is I got a little bit addicted to seeing the scale go down. So when I started to get closer and closer to a weight where I would be underweight or I was like definitely in a normal weight range by every metric, I didn't know how to stop. My goal was to lose weight. I never really thought about, okay, what about when my goal changes to maintain my weight? What does that look like? What about when my goals change to help other people? What would that look like? What about a bigger goal? So I would encourage myself to start thinking then. Don't wait till you're at your goal weight and then start thinking about now what. So I would advise myself back then to really start right then thinking about it. And I think the reason why I had such a hard time doing that to start is I didn't really believe at first that I could actually do it. So I couldn't think about anything else. And hey, that's probably pretty normal because it's a big thing, especially if you have, like I did, over 130 something pounds to lose. It's really hard to imagine that actually happening. So I would say to go ahead then, just start, get in action. But then when you get, 50 pounds away, 40 pounds away, and it feels like this is a thing that might actually happen, start thinking about what maintenance looks like. What lifestyle is that like? And start creating new goals around fitness or health or some other goal that's not just seeing the scale number go down. And then the third thing I would tell myself is don't make it harder than it has to be. God, y'all, I complicated this and overcomplicated this for years. And I'm gonna give myself a pass and I'm gonna give you a pass because I do think that just as a society and especially as a woman in this society, I have been completely brainwashed to complicate this. And I think that makes somebody out there a lot of money. But it doesn't have to be that hard. It really is not that hard. The whole deprivation thing and the whole it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle and all these sayings and all this, the noise is so much. And I kind of had an attitude like in order for it to work, it has to feel like punishment. That's what works. Because growing up doing the grapefruit diet and all these crazy fad diets from when I was coming along, I got this idea that like losing weight equals suffering. And when I really, really realized it doesn't have to be that hard, it's pretty simple. Actually, I have a video about the hacks. I'll link that because that is a really good example of how you can just go through a checklist each day. But the critical piece is make a small calorie deficit. You can go online, calculate your calories needed in a day and create a 300 or 400 calorie deficit in the day. Watch the nutrition, learn about nutrition, read about nutrition, understand what your body actually needs as fuel, and walk or do some activity that you actually enjoy. The research shows that if you enjoy it, it doesn't feel like punishment to do it and you'll want to do it more often. 30 minutes a day, 4 or 5 times a week you're good to go. Pursue things that bring joy into your life. Pursue gratitude. Pursue that as your number one goal. And all of a sudden, you start to have health and vitality. It doesn't have to be that hard. Thank God, right? I'm here to relieve you of that idea. It doesn't have to be that hard. And it will work. And give yourself time. Give yourself time. And then a little bonus. I mean, maybe I just said a bonus. Like, give yourself time. That's a great bonus tip. People constantly underestimate or overestimate what they can do in a month and underestimate what they can do in a year. If you lose a pound a week, that is 52 pounds in a year. So you can do a lot if you give yourself 6 months or a year. But the bonus, the actual bonus, little tip. I was thinking about preparing for this, for talking to you, and I'm like, what's the other thing I would do that's not just mindset related, but is an actual thing I would do? And that is document the process. I say all the time, oh, I've lost over 130 pounds, and I show before and after pictures. The thing is, I don't really have any real before and after pictures. Those are like maybe a 60-pound difference or a 70-pound difference, most of those pictures. I think all of those pictures, because I don't have any pictures of myself at my highest weight. Oh my gosh, I didn't let somebody within 10 feet of me with a camera. That was a big mistake. I wish if I could go back, I would have weighed. There's another thing I didn't do. The last time I weighed that I can recall, I weighed 254 pounds, and I stopped weighing and a couple months went by before I started my weight loss journey. So I could have been even more and just not known it. I probably was. I didn't weigh. I didn't measure myself. I didn't write anything down. I didn't take pictures because I was embarrassed. I felt like it's probably not going to happen. I had taken before pictures before and I didn't succeed. And so I felt like if I took before pictures, I was jinxing myself or something. But I wish I had documented it. I wish I had documented it all throughout. I wish I had a picture for every pound, or you know how people do that, a picture every single day through a certain process. Here's why I think it's important. It would motivate me right now to see how far I have come, because it's easy to forget that. But the second thing is, when you figure this thing out, you are going to want to help other people. I really believe that you just are. That's what happened to me. That's why I started this channel, because everything in my being is like, wants me to tell this story, help other people not ever have to feel the way I felt, and just support and lift other people up. And the best way to do that is be able to have kind of proof that you did it and that you know what you're talking about. And one way is just to show those before and afters, to show people what's possible. You can then be expansive for someone else. When other people see people like them succeeding at the goal they want to do, all of a sudden they feel empowered to do it just by virtue of seeing that representation. So document what you're doing. Tell people, take pictures, even if you don't want to show anybody till it's done. I get that, but document it for yourself so that you can look back, and that if in the case that you might want to in the future help others, you'll have that proof and you'll be able to show the results of what your system is. Those are the 3 things I would do differently if I could get in my time machine and hop back and give myself some advice before I lost over 100 pounds. Also, a little bonus in there. I hope it helped you. If it did, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you know somebody who is starting their health and wellness journey and can use these words of encouragement to know how very possible it is for them, tell them about the channel, share the video with them. I do appreciate you so much. I'm so happy to see the channel grow. I appreciate your support, and I hope that these videos help you. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, be well.